Wow. So hello guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're watching from. I hope you're all doing fine. I'm doing fine also. So welcome back to Nailed Up TV. On today's episode will just be I made a post earlier today on social media on WhatsApp precisely, and I asked for people's thoughts on what they think on breastfeeding in public now by females, and I got so many interesting replies and responses, and I would like to share them. I got these responses via voice notes, and I would be sharing them, and also not failing to indicate the persons who sent these responses. So if you have other thoughts on this, you can also add them in the comment section. I would reply to every response there.
Okay, my opinion on this is very straightforward. It has to do with self-composure, self-respect, and I think self-awareness and also consciousness. Ordinarily, if a woman values her body, regardless of if you're married or not, if you're a mother or not, you should know how to protect your body. Even if you're breastfeeding a child, I believe you should know how to cover up in order not to expose the whole thing, and all that. So it's a matter of self-consciousness, self-awareness, and also, let's just say, self-value. So that's my opinion.
um Senator, shut up. Senator, see, I don't think there's anything wrong with her breastfeeding her baby in the public, because let me take for instance, she's in a marketplace somewhere open and the baby she's carrying is crying. Do you expect her to start actually for the baby first? So I think that her breastfeeding the baby in public is out of a caring mother, a caring mother, and she definitely, the baby is hungry and the baby needs something to calm him or her down. So I don't think that she's anywhere wrong. Whether it is they don't marry her, be say they don't marry her, nobody say she do something. The breast wey they talk about sef, who never see breast for this is life. So what I just don't think that it is wrong, because it's about the baby. So she's not looking at it that it is herself or people that are looking around her, looking at her breastfeeding her baby. It's not. I just think that it's just a caring mother trying to calm her baby down or feed her hungry child. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And for the covering a bit, I guess that she should have caution on that one. That one is but most of them used to do it just that they just want to feed the baby. It's not like she just trying to make sure that the baby is calm. So most of them, it's not like it's their fault that they are, as in, opening it fully. That is not their fault that they are opening. The question is quite confusing, sha, but I guess that she should, for a lady like that, she should actually carry caution. But I don't think that there is anything wrong with it. Okay, I don't think that it's actually lack of dignity, because most ladies these days, when they're in public, most of them actually leave their bare breast, as in to breastfeed the child. Like, it's only few that I've seen that actually when they're breastfeeding their child decided to use their clothes to cover it a bit. You understand? Or to use actually the baby shawl or all those kind of things to cover their breasts a bit. But most ladies that I've seen, they don't do that. So I don't guess it's actually in the case of lack of dignity. or they're just doing it. For me, I don't think it's about self-respect in this case. So I don't think there's anything like they are self-respect, because this is about the baby. Now they are breastfeeding the baby. So I just think that they are doing it as caring mothers. That's what I just think. Or something like, the tension of the baby crying and all those kind of things, it will leave a mother restless now. So the time to come and start looking for your shawl, looking for hanky, I've already put it. 10 people have passed by that time, or 20. So the it's just, for me, it's just about the caring of the mother.
Wow, wow, wow. This topic is really, really interesting. Like, I must confess. Yes, I've also asked myself this question some times ago. Yes, in my school, my department per se, there is this young lady. She's a single mother though. Very still young. She breastfeed her child, a baby girl, like she would just stay one side and just, I was like, and she doesn't cover it. I was like, assuming she doesn't have kids, if a guy wanted to touch her breast or even just want to see, did you know that guy will be beaten hell out of? But come to think of it, I still wonder, but it's not a guarantee for a mother to breastfeed her child outside. It is not, no matter how many babies, no matter who. Because I felt since they've started hiding it from the public, why still opening it? I think it's something that has to do with it's for the married couple, like it's for your husband and your baby, not for the public to see, not for public entertainment. Yes, not for public entertainment. I will still work on this question though and get your feedback, because seriously I have been wanting to hear many answers pertaining this. So I will make research and find out, because to me I don't think it's called for. Yes, I don't think it's called for. Then why is the essence of hiding it from the public at first? To me, there is no like, okay, these days we see girls there, they don't even care. Like, they expose their breasts to the public. So they felt, what is there? Some have that mentality that what is there to cover? After all, when they will breastfeed their child, or if the baby is crying or something, they will still breastfeed the child and people will still see. Yes, some people, they felt after childbirth. Yes, they felt after childbirth there is nothing again to hide. Why some people still find it difficult to breastfeed their child in public? Why? Because they have already that mindset, that mentality that this thing is not meant for the public to see. Yes, and there's some what's it called, situations or circumstances that even some men or even some guys still eye married ladies, that is young married ladies, they still eye them. Why? Because they felt that everything is still there, this. Even if she has given birth, they still want to belong to that same lady that has married. Why? Because she's still young. So they felt they are not seeing her married, they are seeing her still single. Yes, that's why, even like the other day, she told me plainly that, or she told my friend plainly that she's still a single, she's single, and this. So I felt, to me, there is no need hiding. There is no need hiding. Yes, fine. Even the Bible made us to understand that we should always cover ourselves, our body. Yes, but some people don't. Like, that's why I tell you. That's why I said mentalities differs. Some people don't see it as anything. Some people see it as everything to them. That's why it's better they breastfeed their child at home before leaving, or some cases, or they will hide one place or use their clothes. You see some people use their clothes to cover their baby and breastfeed them under. So some people still have that mindset that this thing is not for public. Why some people said they don't care after giving birth to 4 or 5 children? What's there to hide? So you understand. So that's my own story, or what's it called, contribution pertaining to this topic. But I'll still find out. I'll make researches.
Okay, my thought on this. Do you think it's right for a lady to breastfeed publicly with little or no caution to cover a bit of it? I don't like giving opinion on this kind of issues, but do I think it's right? The first question we should be asking ourselves is if it's wrong. No, I don't think we should be asking if it's right. If it's wrong, is it wrong? And if it's wrong, why is it wrong? Okay, based on giving scenarios and references, I might not be able to give scenarios and references, but coming from the angle of why is it wrong, you'd want to be like, okay, maybe it's a lady's breast and it's more like a private thing, so it should be covered. Okay, but then the only reason it might want to be wrong in the eyes of the society, the only reason it might want to be wrong, like the only reason I can fathom is that maybe men would see it, and maybe I don't know which really should happen. It's a mom breastfeeding a child, but if it should happen, that's the only thing I think that can get to happen. So I can't place the pain to tell. I can't tell if it's right or wrong. I don't know what to say about that. But then we have to just analyze why is it wrong. But why is it wrong? If you're able to understand really why it is wrong, then we would also be able to know if it is right or not. So the real question I should be asking ourselves is, why is it wrong to do so? Okay, if we know why it is wrong, then we'll know if it is right. I don't know if you get my point.
Okay, morally, it's not right to expose the breast completely. At least the woman should cover with an handkerchief, or better still, her baby's cap. Some men are drawn to it, not minding whether she's feeding her baby or not. Sure, you know how some people are now. They'll be like, she's exposing her breast. Their attention will be drawn to that. So it's rather she just kind of at least even respects her own body. She shouldn't say that because she's feeding her baby then she'll be exposing her body. It's not right.
Judging from my own perspective, or from what I think breastfeeding should be done privately, because even the breast itself is a private part, and in doing it you have to maintain that privacy. Even if you are feeding your child the public, you must at least maintain a level of privacy. Like I can see sometimes some people, if they want to feed their baby, they'll just go one side and stay alone, trying to maintain that same privacy that was initially established for the breast, which according to you now men they have been using to that kind of thing. So they have been doing it for men. So breastfeeding should be done privately. That's what I'm saying, not publicly. It should be done privately. Even if you are doing it publicly, with the help of helping maybe you are trying to feed your child publicly, you should do that with a degree of privacy. Like it should be done privately. I see some people sometimes, if they want to feed, they will still use clothes or maybe a hand towel cover the upper side of their breast so that people will not see it or notice it, and the baby will be sucking. So that's it. It should be done privately. That's my own take.
Well, in my own opinion, I don't think it's right for a lady or a mother, whatever she may be, to breastfeed her baby publicly, without covering it or something. First off, there's no moral justification for it, and actions like that could, attract eyes to want to stare at her in the process. And also, it's just not healthy to just for a lady to leave her breast open while breastfeeding the baby. It's not healthy. It's not healthy due to certain germs also, and also for the fact that there isn't any moral justification for it. It's just not right. Yes, I do. I see it as a lack of dignity and self-respect because um, a woman's breast is also part of her private part, like, so exposing it to the public is really a show of lack of dignity, in my opinion, though.
But good morning, sir. Thank you very much for this privilege. Well, I would say it is not all nice because we are civilized already. If you go to non-urban areas, you will see more of what you posted. You will see women even just tie wrapper. They won't tie it across their breast region. They just tie it around their waist, and their breast will be dangling in non-urban areas. At least those sort of persons are not civilized, and we can permit that kind of thing because some persons somewhere are still even walking naked. But now we are civilized. You can see some persons after just the way you posted, after getting married, having one or two children, they just feel it is their right to allow to allow their breasts just fall off their chest and breastfeed their children anywhere, their child anywhere they want to. And I feel it is wrong. It is out of courtesy. You understand? Even in churches, some persons, if their child is crying in the church, they want to do. Some persons, I've seen people do that. They either go to the back of the church or even where they sit. Do not at the front. Where they sit, they will just somehow squeeze out the breast and give the child. It is wrong. It is wrong. I believe that. I think that will cause an issue if I have a wife and she does that kind of thing. It might cause, because I will talk. It is wrong. You just find a place. Anytime you're in public, try excuse yourself. Find a location that only you and your child, and you breastfeed your child the way you want to do it. That is the best way to do it. Not just, you will see some people inside bus, some offensive places. You just open your chest, and it is wrong. It is wrong. It is wrong. But even now, our mothers, grandmothers, they are of age, so even if they do such a thing, we can still look over it. But now young people are taking it upon themselves now. See somebody just got married, after one child, you are opening breast up and down. It is not too good. It is not too good. Yeah, it's not too good. So marriage is not a yardstick for them to see that as an opportunity to just open it here and there, open here and there, because you have a child. It is not too good in a public open place. Your child. That's why you will see some ladies that are that smart. They always go travel with stuffs or go to church with stuffs that like serve as appetizers for their children. You understand? They either fix them with something anytime that they are hungry. But some children, this they are craving for breast milk is something else. But still you can still use that one to subside their crave for breast milk. Just give them something that will make their mouth move a bit. It will help them. It will help the children not disturb it that much for you to want to open your breast in public. But still, it doesn't matter where you are or anything. You can just, I've seen people inside the bus. You will see all of our mothers, like sometimes when I travel, you will see them just say, give them breast milk now, give them breast milk now, give them breast milk now. And the mother, at least if from her look, from that lady's look, you know that this one, she's experienced, she's well educated. She will just smile and say, no, don't worry, we'll soon get there. That's that, because she don't want to open. Because the reality is that there are some men that are loosed. Some men are loosed. Even if our aged mothers, some men are loosed, they can still see that thing and get aroused sexually. You understand? Talk more of young ladies now having children. You understand? So you can start breastfeeding your child, and a different man will be seeing another different thing. That is why so many things are happening. It's not just centered around all of these addictions and the rest of those things. Exposing your breast can cause a man to get aroused. Can cause a man to get aroused. Yes, some persons are weak. Some persons are weak. Some persons have weak emotions, sexual vibes, and all of those things. Very weak. They can't control it. So opening your breast can cause that that havoc to again can cause so many things to go wrong. So I think ladies should sit with that and just fix it. Don't just open your breast. Find a location that can help you give your child what he wants, and try to work with you should try to work with appetizers. For instance, anytime the child is crying to take something, first of all give the child sweet milk or any of those baby food now we have, so they can use that. It will at least it will reduce the noise they are making per time. Yeah, so it is not all good for them to open their breast anyhow they want to because they have children. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Right, if I got the question correctly, it says, do you think it is right for a lady to breastfeed publicly with little or no caution to cover bit of it? Uh, Based on what the question is, it is very wrong. It is not all right at all for a lady to breastfeed a baby in the public with little or no caution to have it covered. It is actually wrong. It is actually wrong. Now, I am not against a lady breastfeeding a baby in the public, no, because there is a possibility of the baby uh, getting famished, and then there is a need for the child to be breastfed. Yes, I understand that. So I am not against a lady breastfeeding a baby in the public. But then, if that is going to happen, then it is important for the lady to have the breast covered. It is possible. Yes, it is possible. I have seen ladies breastfeeding their breastfeeding their babies in the public, and then you would only you I only saw the child sucking the breast, but then the main stuff wasn't seen. So it is possible. It is possible. So breastfeeding a baby in the public is never wrong, but then the breast can actually be covered. So being careless about it, making a revelation of everything is what is wrong. I hope I have answered your question.
For me, I feel it is very, very wrong for a lady to breastfeed publicly. That is exposing her bust in public. Like, no matter what, whether you're single or you're married, it does not give a lady the right to expose her private part, because normally private parts are meant to be covered and secured. So even if it is that is the situation or the environment, as a mother who has a child, you're supposed to be prepared for this kind of things. If you know you're going to a place where your child will feed, definitely you're going to spend hours outside. You're supposed to carry a veil or something to cover yourself when you're in such situation. It's not like you just open it up and expose it to the general public to see. So I feel it is totally wrong. Very, very wrong.
Okay, I saw your post and then it attracted me to reply. You see, woman's body is very important. All part of woman body is very important. So if there should be any form of public affairs, it should just be based on the feeding of the baby. And this baby we are talking about, the health of this baby is also at risk, you opening it, because you see mothers at times they might be in an open place. That place might not be hygienic to expose it openly for the baby to be sucking it. At times you might see dust, passerbys raising dust, vehicles and all that. So it is very harmful to the health of the baby. So to me, I think the woman should close it, should cover it. There is a way women do it. So I think they should cover it and still breastfeed the baby for the health of the baby. So marriage is not the reason. Marriage shouldn't make a woman expose her breast because she's trying to breastfeed the baby. No, it's very wrong. So I think there should be a coverage on it while breastfeeding the baby. Thank you.
Personally, for me, I can breastfeed my child publicly with my little scarf, which I'll just use to cover the tip of my breast. What the child is actually sucking is the nipple. Do you get the nipple? So you can just cover the other parts, the larger part of the breast, for self-value, although some parents just open up like that. If you want to see, people don't care. Self-values are different. Do you get? Some people might also do it like that and still have their self-worth with them. You get? I think self-value and self-worth shouldn't literally depend on you breastfeeding your child publicly. Of course, that's a baby, but some women like to expose their body naturally, and it's also applicable to when they are breastfeeding their baby. Do you get? But me personally, if I'm breastfeeding my child, I'm not this kind of person that likes to expose my body, so I'll just have a little scarf which I'll use to cover the tip of my breast. And besides, a man that wants to stare at a breastfeeding mother, it's somehow now. Like, where's the self-worth of the man himself? You get? You're trying to stare at to see the breast of a breastfeeding mother. So the self-worth should be applicable to both gender.
Yeah, breastfeeding a baby in the public is not wrong. Yeah, it's not wrong because your intention at that moment is just to breastfeed the baby and go your way. Your intention is not to showcase your breast publicly or to make guy with your breast. Your intention is just to breastfeed the baby, and after breastfeeding the baby, I believe the lady will cover up her breast and continue her journey. Yeah. So whether she protected it before she got married, it's none of her business because she's kind of right if she protected this before she got married because she was not yet married, so she needed to protect it. Like no lady will just you don't have a child, you just come out and start showing your breast to public. It's somehow now they will look at you as an ashawo, something like that. Yes, but all of us now, we are grown ups, we are matured. Yeah. And when you see a lady giving breast to her child in the public, your mind will go straight to maybe the child has been disturbing her, or maybe the child is hungry and there's no available thing to give the child other than breastfeeding the child. So I don't think it's wrong. But in most cases, like example in my church, you don't breastfeed a child inside the church. Instead, they will guide you outside. They will show you one place, like kind of backyard of the church. So you can go there and breastfeed the child without people, much people looking at you. Not that people don't pass that backyard, but the number of people passing that backyard, like they are few. Other than when you breastfeed the child inside the church, when you know that hundreds of people are there. So that's how my own church do their own. But I don't think it's even a sin or it's wrong to breastfeed a child in public, because you know that you're trying to give the child something that will make the child to mellow down at that moment. So it's not wrong.
Okay, okay, okay. Good evening to you, or good morning rather. So about that, this I don't know, Sha, but I feel the topic is kind of funny. The topic is actually funny, Sha, but it depends on the lady. Seriously, I don't even. I thought I knew what I was going to say, but as I'm even talking now, I'm not sure I know exactly what to say again. But I think it depends on the lady and that kind of person. So for some people, it's very easy for them to just easily omo, that thing gets you get as you get as me seriously. So for some people, it's just easy for them to just remove their breasts in the public and start giving their babies. However, for some other people, it is kind of weird. So they still try to cover it. As you said, I think the topic was if they've been hiding the breast before, why should they be opening it? I think, as thinking about it now, I think it should actually be covered, because truly, 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 the way ladies protect their breast and all of that. In fact, normal, a lady that is outside and her breast pops out, is it is embarrassing and it is a disgrace. Now, because she now has a baby, she can easily remove the breast and show it to the whole world. Somehow. So I don't think ladies should still show it out to the world. If you have a baby and you have to breastfeed in the public, you can still try covering it. A lot of people do that. Instead of just removing it and showing the world. If people remove their breast in front of me, I used to look. There's nothing you want to do. I will look at your breast. Because if you do not open it, you will not look at it. So normal now. Hey, this voice note is already long. But sha, normal. I think people should close their breasts when they are breastfeeding. I don't think it is nice that after they've covered it the whole periods of their life, because they now have a baby that has become opened commodity. They must open it. They should go to their rooms or when they are in their houses, and before you can start, they can be free about it. But when you're in a public place, please respect everybody that is there and cover the breast. Some people lack self-control. You don't do like that.
Wow, so many comments. So many comments. I'm so sorry I wasn't able to send all of them across to you. But then you can always drop a comment to indicate the one that tickled your fancy, the one you found, and the ones you found amusing, and the ones that should be off the table. Do let us know in the comment section. What do you think about women breastfeeding in public?